That was the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Hey, but if you cannot satisfy as the man, figure it out. They got all types of stuff.
Please don't say nothing that she just said. No.
It's that CTE you got acting up. Yeah, let's talk.
They never ran out of soap. You want some hand sanitizer, but you're not washing your behind.
That's for sale.
Down, shaking together, shall men give unto your
You ain't pressing.
Just think to yourself, hey, might not even last. Maybe that'll make you feel better at night.
Quit talking.
Got all types of stuff.
And that's my
Figure it
final
out.
word.
Hey, so look. So when you was like they got all type of stuff, I feel like that was your coming out party.
Nah, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. A coming out party would have been if I named the stuff they got. That would have been a coming out party.
See,
Nah,
y'all always getting
I
on
was
Erica.
I was
Y'all
saying.
always getting on Erica. When it's
Yeah,
really
Erica,
really
yeah.
a problem.
Erica, she a problem too. But you know, I just got a little bit more tact with my stuff. Got a
You're
little
not
bit
as
more tact.
animated, but you definitely a problem.
Right. Hey, it's not in the message, it's in the delivery. It's in the delivery. So
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, boss.
Yeah, you about to see. I'm about to deliver some stuff today that, you know, if you just look at the message, okay, Lee was wrong, but it's in the delivery. See, y'all ain't even gonna take two thoughts about what I'm about to say.
We'll see. What's going on, everybody? It's Sticks and Stones. We ain't gonna look. We gonna introduce ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and get in. We're gonna get out. So go ahead, ladies first.
No, she's saying mute. Okay, I go first. Hey, everybody, this is Lee, 3 letter 2 of the same. Hope everybody's doing well on this fine Friday evening. I feel the need to say, hey, we have not been consistent and we have not been coming and entertaining you guys like we should. And for that, I am apologizing from the bottom of my heart. I really don't want to treat you guys that way. Y'all deserve better from us. We're going to try to be better. So we're going to try to do things a little differently. Hopefully it works. And if not, I'll be on here again saying something else. So yeah, that's me.
You good, Faye?
Yes, life's been life, and y'all. We try. Charge our heads and not our hearts.
Right.
Amen. But I'm saying, nice to see y'all again.
Yeah. Well, I'm Zoe. It's good to see everybody. My name
What
is
are your
Zoe.
pronouns, though?
My pronouns are that and nigga. So
Okay, all right.
If
Just
you
so that people know.
yes, please. If you please identify me as such. Those are my pronouns, and in today's world, I feel like you should respect my pronouns and how I wish to identify myself. So, thank you and good night.
Okay, all right.
Indeed,
Everybody,
Faye gave us the finger, so
Yeah.
we're gonna acknowledge her finger.
The Baptist finger.
Yeah,
The Baptist finger.
yeah. So we're gonna acknowledge her finger real quick. So until she returns, I just want to share with everybody that I did something recently that's probably one of the most vulnerable things I've ever done. Like, if I had to really be real, it's probably one of the most vulnerable things I've ever done. Like, when you really put yourself out there, like, man, it's a vulnerable spot to be in.
You went and got your toes worked on, didn't you? I'm proud of you. You say I'm asking you. So you went and got your toes worked on?
My toes? No.
Yeah, your toes. No,
This ain't a toes thing.
I thought that was a vulnerable thing.
No. Well, that wasn't the thing. That doesn't want to think.
Right.
I didn't even know that like getting your toes done ain't that vulnerable though.
It is.
Like,
It made me so bad about you.
What did I just walk in on? What are y'all talking about?
See, you know what?
He was saying that he did something that was very, very vulnerable recently, and then I guessed and said that he got his toes worked on by the Asian. And then he said no, he doesn't know if that's vulnerable or not. I'm like, it's very vulnerable because number one, some Asians have seen everything. They've seen everything from the Rudy to the Tootie. They have seen like the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you come in and then they start talking their native language, that's when you know. That's when you know.
Here we go. See,
that's when you know.
This is why they're gonna say you problematic, you're xenophobic, and all of that.
Oh, hey, look, I'm not saying that. I'm speaking my own experience. All right, to tell your truth, that's what everybody's been saying. Even though I can't own the truth, it's non-possessive. Anyway, I'm saying once you walk in there and they start working on your toes, and like they start, they speak perfect English, but they start speaking something else. That's when you know that your life, you're not doing as good at life as you should. That's when you know that. So
what they do to me is because I'm a naturally hairy person. They'll offer me a lip wax, and I think that is just so rude. Like, oh, would you like a lip wax today? I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah. Yep. See there. That's that shade. That's that undercover shade that they be putting in there. Then when you respectfully decline, then they go right back to their native language talking about you. I know the game. I know the game.
So what was the thing that you actually did?
Yeah, thank you, Faye, for asking that question. Lee went to the left. Went very far to the left. What I was actually going to say was that I did something that was extremely vulnerable, and I posted my first YouTube video, and that is a very I ain't really know how vulnerable that was going to be until after I posted it, and then I'm looking at myself, and then I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this for the birds.
Yeah.
So
I've been doing it since 2018, and it's still the same feeling. Like
every time you post,
it's anxiety inducing.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I posted the first video, and I'm looking at it, and you know me, like I'm editing videos, and I'm into the whole nine. So I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it over and over and over again, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And so part of me was just kind of like, bruh, just post it. Because if you don't post it now,
you'll constantly nitpick yourself until you talk yourself out of doing it. So
I won't post it. Exactly. So
yeah,
it would never get posted. So that's literally what my mind was. So I posted it, put it out there. It's out there right now. If you go to the Zo3 YouTube channel, you'll see it. I don't even know if the last time we was on Sticks and Stones, I even talked about it. You know what? I don't think I did because we ain't been on Sticks and Stones for a minute. So I don't even think I told people what I was doing.
You didn't, and you did real good. You did good. You did really good because most people's first video sucks. A lot of people.
The professional herself. You did good, Zo. You did good.
See, yeah. Well, for those of y'all, I guess that are like, what are we talking about? My brother talked me into it. My brother Lawrence talked me into it, and I have recently started a YouTube channel that is talking about Web3. If you don't know what Web3 is, go to the YouTube channel and you can find out. The YouTube channel is Zo3. As a matter of fact, I think over here in this little can, I think I still have this intro video in here. I'm gonna pop it.
Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out.
That song is called USDA, by the way.
I like it.
I thought it was very interesting how the song was titled USDA, and that is the grading system for beef. So they grading they beef. Ooh, get it? Yeah, they grading they beef. yeah. I thought it was funny.
That wasn't good, bro.
I thought it was funny. I guess not.
Anyway,
Zo3 YouTube channel. It's literally just called Zo3. Like you don't even gotta. It's literally called ZO3. So that's it. If you can't find that, I'm gonna tell you. But that's it. Zo3 Wati. Yeah, and posted my first video, and I was cool recording it. I didn't feel nothing, but when I posted it, it was like a part of me was leaving my body. Like my gut was just wrenching.
It's like that though, because it's like at the end of the day, you're opening yourself up, whether you like it or not, to public criticism. And
absolutely,
it's just like you get people's opinions and comments, and like, what do they think? And it's like that.
Oh yeah. No, I was definitely like wondering about that, y'all. But that's my first video. My first video is a tutorial or a quick guide on what NFTs are. So feel free to check it out. More to come. I'm gonna try to be as consistent as I can be with a whole bunch of content. So yeah, we on this journey. Well, we actually do got a topic because we ain't talking about my channel. We got a topic. Disclaimer before we get into this topic. I'm about to show everybody a video. The video does have some language in it. I did not bleep it out simply because part of the issue is the language. So, for it to like really stick, it's not cut or nothing, but it just needs to be. You just need to know there's some language in it. So, if you are sensitive to language, this video may not be for you. If you don't care,
you can wait for your party at the arrival gate.
Yes.
What is this?
Oh, yeah. So Faye has not seen this video, everyone. So we are getting Faye's true reaction here. This video, and basically all the details are in the screen. So this is a sixth grader that is talking, a sixth grader and his father. They're at a school board meeting talking about a book that was found at this kid's library. Now they done got political and said these Democrats are pushing this trash hard. I don't know about all that, but it's whatever. We can talk about it. But I want to play this video so everybody can kind of get an idea of what's going on.
Doesn't need to be at our school. As far as gender,
it needs to start over. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm sorry. I'm going to refresh this. Good old Instagram. Refreshing it. And I'm going to start this video over. Again. Because apparently it automatically plays without audio.
This is bullshit. We know it. All right. We do not need to be having literature that's showing boys how to suck dick.
I'm a sixth grader. I was in the library. This book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. It reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both fucking terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
So that's my son.
Okay.
11 years old. I don't care whether it's gay, straight, bisexual, whatever the terms are for all this stuff. It doesn't need to be at our school. As far as genderqueer.
Okay, so that is that. The guy was going into the name of the book. The name of the book is called Genderqueer. It is a book that has been seen in middle schools in recent times. I did a little research. The author of this book has been pushing this book to be in middle schools because middle schools now are the age where the public school system starts to teach about sexual education and reproductive whatever. So I guess in his thing, and I'm really paraphrasing what he was saying here, but he felt that sexual education should not be linear, and that if we are going to teach sexual education to our kids, it should not be linear, and they should be taught the spectrum. And the floor is yours.
What happened to like Cloudy with a Side of Meatballs and stuff like that for kids? Like, I remember in 5th grade, we were taught about some things with sex, but it was from a biology standpoint. We were talking about body functions and stuff like that. Now, me personally, y'all know I'm always with the inclusion. I don't care if you're gay, straight, or whatever. But for a kid, that's just way too much. Like, teach them about biology, but that right there, that was past biology. That was sexuality, and I wouldn't care if it was gay or straight or whatever. That's too much for a child. And how that ended up I don't even think I would want my high school child's library having that. That's a little too mature for a kid. Like, no, that's too much.
What happened to my friend Martin? When the teacher was out, sub came in with a VHS with the roll on the cart.
Yeah.
Put it in, my friend Martin. And we was good for the day. This is I want to be very, very clear. This is not about education, because it's not education, it's indoctrination. Like, you're exposing kids to experiences and literature that is not about the education piece. It's not about biology. It's not about what they should know. It's about what you want them to know, what you want to expose them to. And I have a problem with that, because it's well, number one, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that you would indoctrinate kids that young. He said he was 6th grade. Sixth grade. So what's 6th grade? 10, 11? Is that 11?
10 or 11, yeah, around there.
So a 10 or 11-year-old. Now I'm not gonna say a 10 or 11-year-old doesn't know the language. The language they're probably exposed to, but the actual sexual content in the literature, if it's not educational, it shouldn't be there. Yeah. It shouldn't be there at all. And then the fact that there was a graphic novel offered to this boy when he wanted to check it out. Like, it's not only are you wrong, you all the way wrong. Like, hey, let's double down on it. Do you want to see the pictures? Do you want to see the in-depth analysis on what you read? Like, no, like, it's crazy. So, like, and this is coming from, of course, we grew up in church culture where we don't talk about sex at all. We don't talk about sex. Like, it's such a taboo topic. Even the word sex probably would get you thrown out on some churches. But, like, even in that scenario where we don't talk about it, it's like, that's too much. That's too much, and we should know the difference between what education is and indoctrination. So I don't like it. Don't like it. I mean, of course, I got 2. Faye got 1. I don't want my kid exposed. Zoe got none. But you an uncle, so it counts.
Yeah.
I got a third.
You got
2/3.
You don't even have a 10th, though. You don't even have a 10th. Shoot. But
and to give some context, so on the caption of the video, they talked about how schools allow this book in the school, but they don't allow books that deal with some Black literature. Specifically, the person that posted the video was referring to, in recent times, the book Huckleberry Finn was banned from being read in books.
That's crazy.
Huckleberry Finn book by Mark Twain. It's a book
To
about
Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a
Yeah.
Mockingbird. That book was banned in schools. So, and their reasoning was because both books, they were like, well, we're not going to allow the book in the school. And if that's your reasoning, fine. But if you're not going to allow Huckleberry Finn, genderqueer ain't far from it. So we gotta, we gotta kind of be real about what we're doing here.
Yeah, and it's like when you think about fiction and nonfiction literature, to me, it's like even when you look at TV, there's a rating system, which is for general audiences, PG-13, for mature and all that. When you start talking about all of that, that's not even PG-13. So why is a sixth grader reading that? Like, and again, if it was biological, I would be okay with that. Teach these kids about their body so they can make educated decisions. But that wasn't like no nonfiction scientific type of thing. This was something else. Like, I'm not with that.
Why does a kid have to read about reaching to the drawer for a condom?
Yeah, not at that age. Like, and I'm okay if a high schooler hears about protection, but a sixth grader,
But a sixth grader for what? For what? Like, that has nothing to do with the process, the biological process of reproduction. Condoms are not in it. All right. You know the hardware that a man has and the software that a woman has. That's all you need to know. Okay, like you don't need to know the accessories and all that type of stuff. That comes later. Now, I agree with you, Faye. When the sex education, when we get to high school, now let's start talking about protection and STIs and all that type of stuff. But right now, those kids, no. And then again, had he not picked that up and read it and had the sense to go to his father and show to his father, it would still be there.
Facts.
It would still be on the shelf, waiting for any person to just read, like any of these kids. And if it's sixth grade, maybe a fifth grader could have access to it, or a fourth grader, or a third grader. It just gets younger and younger.
I do have a question, just for clarity's sake. Was this book approved by the school to be there, or was it just something that a teacher put there? Like, how did it end up there?
Good question, Joe.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, was this something that the school board was okay with, it that's a part of a curriculum, or did a teacher just bring it in?
No idea. And maybe somebody in the comments can tell us. I mean, this is a recording, so we'll get it later. But I mean, I would assume that everything in the school has to be approved by the board. I would assume, but hey, I'm just a lowly. I
feel like when you're dealing with kids at that age, yeah, it gotta be approved. Usually when it comes to middle schools, you're very strict about what sins. That's a great question. I do not know the answer to that question.
I wonder, like, the same issue, like, and I'm just using this hypothetically, and I don't mean to sound Islamophobic, but what would have been the response if someone had left a Quran out there? And you know what I'm saying? Because some people are so ignorant, like, would there have been an uproar? You know what I'm saying? So, like, would they have been like, oh, now y'all pushing religion on the kids? That's not acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
it's only being put. It's only a problem if it's inconvenient for you. See, if there was a Bible left in there, you wouldn't say nothing.
It's only a problem when
the Bible was left on that shelf. Y'all would praise the school, saying that the school cares about God and all of that. So if they leave a Bible, it's a problem. It's you good. If they leave a Quran, it's a problem.
Yep.
It's only because
a problem if you disagree. Only a problem if you disagree.
Right. So,
but let's push everything. If we're gonna leave genderqueer on the shelf, put the Quran, put the Bible, put every piece of literature that has ever been written in the doggone school. If we're not gonna protect them, give them everything.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. And then speaking of agreeing, we're 25 minutes in. We said we ain't gonna be long. I gotta get y'all reaction to this video. Now, I'm not even gonna say I stumbled upon this. This was actually sent to our group chat, and we did not even think about it today. And when I show this video, y'all gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, and you might get triggered.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna just play the video, and then we can provide context later.
Y'all gonna kick me off this dog?
Want God for real. And I'm going to say this right here, no pun intended just for you guys, but I will have to say, I can't come in a place and not be a prophet of God. But that's what's happening to the body of Christ with the music. We have people, musicians, that leave and don't want the word. But I'm going to tell you something, the word, when you give, that God what is happening in the body. I know some of y'all looking at me crazy, but I'm telling you something. That's just how I work. I'm telling you, I don't come and sugarcoat nothing because I would do it even in my church if I had to. But when you are praying for somebody, we see it all over. I travel all over the world. As soon as the preacher starts preaching, we get up and leave, and then we go get something to eat and drink. But the devil is a liar. I will decree and declare that I will decree and declare that the musicians will get saved all over again. I decree and declare that they will have a heart. Because see, I'm going to tell you what the leaders are doing. The leaders are leaving out the musicians. The musicians are praying, but they're not praying for the musicians. And sometimes, do we not understand the warfare that musicians go through? Musicians go through warfare because of the fact of what is the enemy. That was his reign, wasn't it? Did we talk about that today when it came up to music and stuff? Oh, but see, we so jealous that in the body of Christ now. We don't want to check leaders. We don't want to check nobody. We don't want to check musicians. Because everybody getting paid, right?
Yep.
I will pay you and still rebuke you.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, Pastor Daniel.
All right, so some context.
I don't like it.
This video is from a live feed of a church, and this video went viral like crazy. So this pastor she's a guest speaker, prophetess, and she is
guest speaker.
She's a guest speaker. She's the guest. This is not her church. She's a guest speaker. Yes, I will reiterate, she is a guest. She's in the church, and she is going off because I don't know, I think it was a drummer or somebody that walked out after they got done playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
No, what happened was she asked, okay, all right. Look, just tell me when to go. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tell me when to go.
We can take a pause. We can go back and finish the video in a little bit. It's only a minute and a half left.
What happened was after she got done attacking them, she asked the musicians to play for her. And while the keyboardist was starting to play for her, she asked the drummer, was he going to play? And at the time there was nothing for him to play because she wasn't playing a song. She wasn't playing like it was just at the start of it. Okay, so there was nothing for him to play. So he looked at her and said no. And then he was like, okay, that's okay. And then she grabbed somebody from the audience and said, all right, you go play. You go up. And then she said, you don't even know what you just did.
That's later in the video.
You have what?
That's later in the video.
You asked what happened. You asked.
No, I was leading up to it.
I was providing context of what led up to this moment.
Oh, okay. No, what led up to that moment was she's a
it
guest.
Was as if the music had just stopped and the musicians walked out of service and she got up and she wanted accompaniment, but they weren't in their position, and so she went off.
I'm gonna get to what Leah's speaking of.
Yeah, just let me know. Just let me know when to go.
You okay? Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. Can you play something? Can you play? I'm gonna tell you this. So you don't want to play. Aiden, can you go play, please? I don't even think you understand what you just did, young man. And who was in your presence. Wow. That's great. But I will give you 48 hours to repent.
48. 48 of them. 48 of them.
48.
48.
Please let me get his name. I
Four.
hope y'all are recording.
48.
This makes what I've been speaking true. I have no.
All right, that's it, Lee. You may proceed.
Just tell me when to go.
No, you good. Nah, that is the rest of the video. So again, you please.
I just have one
If
question.
I had a, yeah, go ahead, Faye.
Just a question.
Mm-hmm.
48 hours or what? What happens at the end of 48 hours?
Or he
going to hell.
She
going
gonna
to hell.
Send them.
Gasoline snuggie.
She gonna send them to the bottom.
Send them to hell.
Said, you either repent or she gonna send you to. Well, she ain't say this, but I guess if you ain't repenting, she's sending you
going
to
to hell in a Humvee. That's where you going.
So you
Okay,
better
that was
repent.
my only question. Go ahead, Lee.
48. Mm-hmm. 48.
If I had just a penny, just a penny for every service that I have been a part of, in where something like this happens. Now, not as demonstrative as this woman did, but something like this happens where there is a slight or there is a form of dishonor when it comes to, and I'm not just putting this on musicians, on people whose gifts are visible in the church. They become the easy target to throw your darts at. Like, if I had just a penny, I probably could pay my house off. I probably could pay my house off. And this is not a cheap house. This is a pretty good house. I could pay it off if I had a penny for every time okay. This is an education for those who don't live in this space. I pastor creatives, so allow me the creative space, if you will, to just speak up for the people that I serve. Okay. The first thing that is wrong with this is you are a guest.
Yes.
You are a guest in someone else's house. Yet you came in their house, kicked their dog, defecated on their dining room table, and then walked out, and then expect these people to still live in this place that you just defiled. That's all you did. You came in and crapped on everybody, and then said, all right, deuces, give me my honorarium, and I'm going back to wherever I'm from. And then that pastor, that director, or whoever's over that ministry has to pick up the pieces on which you cut these people down. And it's uncalled for. It was not called for. They're not there when you got up. So what? Get up there and do your job. If it wasn't agreed upon, or if it wasn't, you know what, next time, cut your honorarium in half and bring your own musician. How about that? How about that? And instead of demonizing it, which they were doing what they had agreed upon. Because praise and worship, we're just talking about logistics. Praise and worship and music and all that type of stuff usually in many churches lasts anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Count it with me. 30 minutes to an hour. That's 30 minutes of continuous playing or continuous singing, in which they have to stand up, they have to use their voices, use their hands, use their so after and 30 minutes to an hour of that, then it is conceivable that they can get up and refresh themselves. It's conceivable to where it has been negotiated by the pastor, said, hey, after you've done your job, hey, you can have a restroom break. Go use the restroom and then come back when I'm finishing. Or go be a service. Sit up, because we don't need your gift right now. We just need you to be a member. If you don't know the operations and the structure and the spirit of that house, shut up. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. And then you over there using God as your sword. Well, the sword, in order to be a minister of this gospel, you gotta grip the sword by the blade. You gotta cut yourself before you cut them. You can't go over there waving that stuff like, oh, well, you should have did this. The Bible also says, speak on the things which you know. And it's obvious you didn't know, because the drummer's father got on I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook, just to read you your rights. Which tells us you wasn't in order, because if the all-knowing God was speaking to you, there wouldn't be things that you didn't know while you were speaking to him.
Well,
it blows my mind. Like, you just go into there and think that because these people are visible, you can point a finger in there, and then you don't think that people don't see the fake that you are. You didn't have a word. You didn't do you don't have a message. You don't have the word. It's easy to browbeat people. It's easy to crucify people. It's easy to point at people and look at their flaws and see what they're doing wrong and see what they're doing wrong. That's easy. But what's hard is to go into a place that God has been assigned to you, and to bring the word of God without bias, without your personal agenda, without anything else. That's hard. And you failed at that. You failed, and you probably, not only do you owe the musicians an apology, you owe that congregation an apology. Because you went in there and you crapped in their house. You crapped in their house. And then, again, because these musicians, nothing happens in a vacuum anymore. You thought that this was just going to happen and nobody was going to say nothing? Like, it wasn't going to get out? Everything happened, and now your whole business in the street. Your whole business in the street. People didn't know who you was before. Now you know as the lady that went into another house just to rebuke musicians that you didn't know. And also in the Bible it says there can be no rebuke without relationship. You didn't know these people. So don't use the word of God. Don't use the spirit of God. Don't use any of that excuse to justify your position. And then I saw the sorry excuse she wrote for an apology. And I still say you need to take several seats. Don't open your mouth. Don't talk about these people. Don't go to another. Do not take another speaking engagement talking about you a prophet of the gospel, yet can't tell me what actually happened in that doggone service. You trying to create a prophetic moment and you don't even know how to handle it. That's the PG version. If you want the rated R version, message me privately.
Yeah. Like, I 100% agree with everything. And then to me, what bothered me the most was that was a child she was speaking to.
Kid.
That was a kid. That it was not necessary. It didn't have to go like that. First of all, if you have an issue with the musicians, go to the pastor. Pastor not there, you go to them afterwards. You don't do that. And then you don't do that in front of the audience like that. I don't know why we think that being powerful, quote unquote, in the spirit gives you license to be mean. And then they'll say, well, the Old Testament, well, we're under the dispensation of grace. And then, oh, well, Peter did. No, you ain't Peter. You ain't Joshua. You ain't Ezekiel. You're you. And I don't like that. And that's not.
You ain't even Judas.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not to say a prophet shouldn't prophesy, but in that moment, you clearly were not prophesying. That was your flesh. And I had a real problem. My biggest thing was, not only was it out of order, it was the word curse she delivered at the end. I don't like that. That 48 hours or what? What's supposed to happen? All because you mad? So you expecting God to back up your wrath because you mad? I didn't like that. And yeah, she issued an apology. It's like when all of this happened, she closed all her social media because people were not here for it. And that's the thing. It's like, I feel like with church culture, there has been a shift in the overall culture of the world, which has caused a shift in the church. Meaning, back in the day, maybe the 60s and 70s, that would have been okay. It would have been okay for you to verbally say whatever you want and treat people however you want to. But as we have grown emotionally and with intelligence, we realize, just because you got a title don't mean I got to take your verbal abuse. And I feel like so many people are caught up in that old school mindset that they don't realize our generation is not for that. So yeah, she had to close her social media. And it's not to say that, if someone has a valid rebuke, they shouldn't do that. But at the same time, there's a way that you handle God's people. And we're not taking that no more where you just finna just get one off and just say whatever and treat me however just because you got a mic in your hand. That's unacceptable. So I'm glad that overall the tone was, everybody was like, man, we ain't having that. That's not cool.
Yeah. No, I'm very disheartened by how we treat our youth, because to handle that boy in the way that she did was very disheartening. Yeah. It was very disheartening. Because if that was an adult, the effect would be much different. But that kid, that could be a traumatic event for him, especially going viral, and for him going viral in the way that he did. Like that's one thing that kids have a huge fear of, going viral for the wrong reason.
Yeah, and it was idiotic. It was idiotic.
Yeah,
there was no. What was he gonna play in that moment?
And the keyboard was barely going.
But what was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to just do a drum fill up until the keyboard? What was he supposed to do? This is why I'm so upset, because like we talk about speak on things which got it, subject matter. But let's just talk really, really practical. It's obviously you don't come from this world of musicianship. You don't come from this world of actually knowing what needs to be done and how it needs to go. So if you don't know, if you really don't know, you probably shouldn't rebuke in such a public fashion. Like rebuke, how can you treat God's people when you stand in the stead of God, not like God? Because everything God did was relational. Everything. From Genesis to Revelation, this book is about relationships. It's about God's willingness to do anything to keep man in relationship with him. So if that is your base, how are you without relationship going to convict a kid for doing something that he shouldn't have been doing in the first place? Play what? Play what? And then you didn't go to, like, the pastor wasn't there, apparently. The pastor was not in the, so you're not going to the pastor. But I know plenty of bishops, pastors, evangelists, that when they are coming, when they are going to a place, they know to have eye contact, or know, like, to send a text or send a message of, this is what I'm expecting when I get up. And if there's no communication, there can't be no expectation. And they know that too. And I'm talking about like bishops, like high bishops, like name dropping, like every big name you can think of has gone through that. And know what they didn't do? They didn't demonize people for doing things that weren't communicated or not expected. And then saying, well, they not, and then to say, well, I decree that these musicians will get saved. Who told you they wasn't?
Thank you.
Who told you that they wasn't saved? So there's this generalization, this hasty generalization that, like, the creatives are somehow less spiritual because they're gifted. I wish somebody would, and I wish somebody would walk up to 4015 and then talk about the singers or talk about the musicians like they need to get saved. Yo, and you need to get to your car. Quick. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. You're not gonna treat people like that and think that they're gonna respond to you. Especially when you had an assignment and you went off script to do something that was totally unnecessary. Now, if you wanted to pull them out, after the service, or you would have talked to them before the service, I get it. I totally get it. I've been in those conversations plenty of times, and I respect the heck out of them because they will come to you and say, "Hey, yo, where was this person at? Hey, yo, you know, I wanted to do this. I was feeling this, and then they talk about the miscommunications between the musicians and the speaker. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion do they get up in front of a congregation and demonize people while bringing the word of God. It can't happen. Why? Because it's hypocritical. The Bible says that God came that we might have life and life more abundantly. And his word is this is it. That is its own entity. When you bring forth the word of God, it stands on its own too. It doesn't need help. It doesn't need help. You don't need to do anything. Just talk. Just speak the word. Speak what God gave you. And if God gave you nothing, guess what? You off the hook. You don't need to say nothing. Hey, come in and say, "Hey, God bless you. Let's read a couple of scriptures. Let's sing some songs and let's go." All right? We would have so much more respect for you if you did that. But you don't. You manufacture these fake moments, and so that people are riding high on emotionalism, not spirituality, and not true encounter with God, but they're riding high on the emotions that you manipulate so that you can feel validated when you go home. And you can charge what you charge. Get back that check and say, "Hey, look, I would rather not pay me nothing, and you can get the people that you want in positions so that you can actually have what you have. But don't get up there and complain about something that you ain't sacrificed for. That don't make sense. Like these musicians, they probably worked all week on that music. They probably worked all month on that music. They probably going home and practicing and giving their time, giving their efforts. So just so that you can come in and question their spirituality based upon what they didn't back you up when you got up, you didn't get the rousing entrance music when you got up. Sit your happy tail down. That's the PG version. If you want the rated R version, message me privately.
But you know what was the best part of all of this to me, and I felt like it was honestly the most godly part, was that father did not take that sitting down. When he found out about that man started a social media campaign until there was an apology given. His message went around the country, so much so that she had to apologize. So the fact that he was like, "Absolutely not. I don't bring my child to church for you to abuse him. You gonna apologize to him?" I was 100% behind that.
And you better be lucky it wasn't me. You better be lucky it wasn't me. You think I'd have stopped at social media? Oh my God. You couldn't get a job at Walmart after I was done. Like you think you about to
you gonna tell my son he got 48 hours?
48 hours? What? You better pray and hope that this don't make it. Like I would send that message to every person you ever set foot in their church. I would make it my sole focus would be to make sure that you understand that you don't handle people that way. Mm-hmm. You don't. So you better don't quit your day job, because if you think that ministry is your calling, you better go ahead and return that call, because that ain't what this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. And I'm so sick, and I'm so sick of people using musicians and singers and creatives, all creatives, media people as well. Like I've been to churches where they just totally trashed the media department. And the media department was sitting there like the media department was their own family. It was their own family, and they trashed them because, well, we should be doing this and we should be doing that. And they looking around like, yo, I get it, but all we got is phones and micro, like what in SM58s, we don't really have nothing. So, I mean, you can yell all you want to, but we can't turn water to wine here. That's not what we do. Like, I'm so sick of people using creators for cheap claps and fake spirituality, fake moments. All of y'all should have several seats. Look, and if you don't know who you are, again, my tag is on the screen. My name is Lee. 3 letters, 2 of them are the same. All right, I'm not hard to find. If you want to know, ask me. I'll let you know. I'll tell you about yourself.
Well, that's that on that.
Good.
Hey, you know what? I probably do need an anchor translator. I probably do. Bro, I do. Okay, because like I said, if you bring that to 4015, get to your car, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Don't even change. Don't change. Just go straight to your car.
In other words, you are not welcome. Please do not enter the premises. Thank you. That was lovely. That was lovely. I think we're good. Actually, that was a lot, and I think we're good. I think we've gotten enough. So let's go ahead. And Lee, I feel like you've already done your final words. So if you have anything more final than what you've already finally done,
nope.
No. Okay. All right.
I'm good.
Lee's good. Okay. What about you, Faye? What you got?
I think enough has been said through this broadcast. I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the vibe here. It's kind of the vibe. Yeah, Lee kind of spoke enough for everyone. My final words. Again, I've gone on to this Zo3 venture. And in my final words, I want to get a quick reaction from Lee and Faye to this wonderful NFT that sold for $1.6 million. It is a picture of a key, and it sold for $1.6 million. It does do something, but we'll get into that later. The point is, somebody paid $1.6 million for this lovely key right here. Your thoughts, Faye Collins?
Hey, I got pictures of real keys. Y'all want? Y'all? Can I create that? Can I do that?
My thought is my Cash App is $ I am Miss Faye. If you just got $1 million something to throw away for pictures, go ahead and hit up my Cash App. I got a lot of pictures. You might actually like it. It's a whole lot better than the key. If you just throwing away money, throw it my way.
I got keys. I got keychains. I got pictures of tables. I got chairs. What you want? I got all the pictures. Just let me know whatever it is you want to do.
I got pictures of the arch in my phone. Every time when I was living in Texas, as soon as I would get back, I would want a picture of the arch. Yeah, you just want to send me pictures? I send you a picture of the arch. Real value.
Real value.
Come on now. I got some pictures for you if you just want to bless your boy.
This key was awarded to someone. There was a bunch of players that were playing a game called I think the game was called Sewer Dash. And the winner of that game was awarded this key. And this key gives access to the server in which the video game resonates. And the winner of the video game was awarded this key, and someone agreed to buy that key from said winner for $1.6 million.
To get access to the server.
To get access to the server where this game is. There's other games on this server. They're all Dash games. There's Sewer Dash, Dookie Dash. It's just a bunch of Dash games.
You said who?
Sewer Dash and Dookie Dash. Those are the games.
All right, now. Yes.
Dookie I think Dash. Enough is
Dookie Dash. Dookie is what she did all over in that church.
Here he go.
That's what she did.
Yeah. Well, just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate it. That was fun to see you guys reactions. More reactions coming. This is apparently a part of me now, so I got to get y'all reactions to a bunch of stuff as they come. Until next time, Sticks and Stones may break your bones. Do not come in 4015 talking about the musicians, because you will be seen by Lee Scott too.
I'm gonna find you. Oh, I'm gonna find you. Hey, count your days. You ain't working in this town again. Shoot.
All right. So much for them Sticks and Stones breaking bones.
No. But yeah, these words will find you. These words is gonna find you for real. Shoot. You don't even go back to your hotel room. You just go straight to the airport. Don't even go back. Shoot. You know it's gonna be a bad day for you. Why are we still on? In this recording. I don't know.